People say heroes wear badges and uniforms, but sometimes, a hero is the man quietly sweeping the floor at 2 a.m., hoping no one notices his trembling hands or the holes in his shoes. And on the night everything went wrong, no one expected the broke single dad janitor to be the one who stood between life and death, let alone that the CEO he protected would repay him with something he never believed he deserved. Something that left him too shocked to speak. Adam Malik had stopped believing life had surprises left for him. At 34, he worked 3 jobs, slept 4 hours a night, and still couldn't keep up with the bills. Being a single dad to 7-year-old Noor was the only thing that kept him moving. When she smiled, he felt alive. When she touched his face and whispered, "Baba, you're my hero," he swallowed the ache in his chest, wishing he actually believed her words. At night, after dropping Noor at his neighbor's small apartment, he walked into the towering glass building of Albitech, where he worked as a night janitor. He pushed the cleaning cart through the silent halls, sweeping floors and wiping fingerprints off polished surfaces. He never complained. Poverty had taught him that survival wasn't dignity, it was endurance. He often passed by the CEO's office on the top floor. He never met her, of course. Everyone talked about her though. Zara Alvi, the young, brilliant, intimidating executive who rebuilt the entire company after her father's death. To Adam, she was a distant figure, someone whose world existed in a galaxy far from his. One night, as he was mopping the floor near the executive wing, he heard a sound, a soft thud, followed by hurried footsteps. He froze. Another sound came, something like a muffled cry. His heart raced, but he moved toward the noise. The moment he turned the corner, everything in his life shifted. Zara Alvi was there, pinned against the wall by a masked intruder. Her face showed shock and fear as the man gripped her arm aggressively, demanding something: passwords, access, something Adam didn't fully catch. All he saw was danger. In that split second, Adam didn't think about his low salary, or his fragile job, or what would happen to Noor if something went wrong. He just moved. He lunged forward and rammed the cleaning cart into the intruder with all his strength. The metal clashed, the intruder stumbled, and Zara slipped from his grip. The attacker swung around, furious, pulling a knife from his jacket. Adam's breath hitched, but he stepped forward again, grabbing the mop handle like a makeshift weapon. Fear made his pulse scream, but the thought of his daughter made his legs hold steady. The intruder charged. Adam took the hit first, the blade slicing across his arm, burning like fire. But he used the pain to drive the mop handle into the attacker's stomach. Zara scrambled behind him, shouting for security, but they were too far, too slow. Adam's vision blurred, his knees shaking, yet he held the attacker back until the security team finally stormed in and tackled the intruder to the ground. Adam collapsed, his arm bleeding, breath ragged. Zara knelt beside him, eyes wide with disbelief. "Why would you risk yourself like that?" she whispered. He looked up weakly. "Because someone had to." She stared at him as though she had never seen courage so raw, so unpolished. A janitor. A single dad. A man with nothing, yet he had given everything. Adam didn't remember much after that except being taken to the hospital, Zara following closely, her usually sharp gaze softened by something he couldn't name. He didn't expect to see her again, but she wasn't done with him, not even close. Adam returned to work a week later, bandaged and tired. The HR department had initially told him he might face disciplinary action for engaging in physical confrontation. Even though he had saved the CEO, rules were rules, they said. He walked through the building expecting trouble, maybe even a termination letter. Noor needed food and rent, he couldn't afford to lose this job. His anxiety grew with every step. When he reached the top floor, he saw something strange. The entire staff was gathered, and at the center stood Zara Alvi. She walked toward him with a confidence that could silence storms, but today her eyes held warmth. "Adam," she said, using his name as though she had spoken it 100 times. "I've been waiting for you." The HR manager approached with a folder. Adam braced himself, preparing for the worst. Zara took the folder from the manager's hands and closed it. "This is the man who saved my life," she said, her voice carrying across the hall. "And instead of honoring him, some people thought of punishing him." Her tone sharpened. "Not under my leadership." People looked at each other, whispering. Zara turned to Adam, her expression softening again. "Come with me." She guided him into her office, a place he had only seen from afar. It was large, elegant, filled with books and floor-to-ceiling windows. He stood awkwardly, unsure what to say. "Sit," she said gently. He Saturday. Zara leaned against her desk. "I've been thinking about you, Adam. About your courage. About how you fought a knife with a mop to protect someone you barely knew." "I just did what anyone would do," he murmured. "And no," she said, shaking her head slowly. "No, most people wouldn't. That's why I want to thank you properly." Adam felt his throat tighten. "You don't have to." "I do," she said firmly. Then she handed him a sealed envelope, but he opened it and froze. Inside was a job offer, not for janitorial work. It was a full-time staff position in building safety management, with a salary he had never even dreamed of. Benefits. Health insurance for him and Noor. Paid time off. Housing allowance. His hand shook. This must be a mistake, he whispered. It's not, Zara replied. You risked your life for me. But more than that, you reminded me what real strength is. People like you deserve chances, not struggles. He felt his eyes burn, the weight of years of hardship suddenly crashing down on him. And there's more, she added softly. He looked up, stunned. She smiled, warm, sincere, human. I arranged a full scholarship for Noor at the best school in the city. She'll have every opportunity you ever wanted for her. Adam felt the world stop. His breath caught. His voice disappeared. He tried to speak, but no words came out. Zara stepped forward, placing a gentle hand on his uninjured arm. Consider it my thank you. You saved my life, Adam, now let me help rebuild yours. Something inside him broke, not in pain, but in relief. For the first time in years, he let himself cry. Quietly, uncontrollably, she didn't look away, she simply let him be human, and when he finally found his voice, all he could whisper was, thank you. I don't know how to repay you. Zara smiled softly. You already did. Outside the office, life continued as normal. Phones rang. Employees typed. But for Adam, everything had changed. The broke single dad janitor who once believed life had no surprises was wrong, because sometimes, life doesn't just surprise you, sometimes, it gives you a miracle disguised as gratitude, and it leaves you speechless.